So I know it's hard to see me, and I did just wake up. But would you guys be interested in seeing what I do to take care of my skin as like a video? I don't know. I'm not one of those channels. I'm not a beauty guru, so like it's not my thing. But I feel like there's a product that I just happened to buy one night. I saw it and I was like, well, how do you use this? And I looked at the back and the instructions were extremely easy. And I don't know if it's for acne, but I've been using it, and since I've been using it, the rash that I used to get on my neck and up on my face only goes on my neck. And I've even been using it on my neck a little bit, and it's not as itchy, and it seems to like take the itchiness out of it, and it's alcohol free. And I mean, I kind of want to do a face routine, but I don't really do anything to my face. I clean it, I try and get enough sleep, and I don't know, like, I'm trying to find something to get rid of these dark circles and like something to use as a preemptive, like, anti-aging thing. And I know that sounds nuts because some of you are like, Jess, you already look fucking young as hell. Yes, and I also avoid the sun. But I don't want that to flip-flop on me. I also kind of want to do a makeup tutorial because I haven't done one in a while, and I don't know. I've done a few in the past, and I also thought about doing a makeup tutorial for my TikTok character, which I don't have a name for, but it's like a demon character. I don't know. I don't know how to do a poll or whatever. I don't know who's going to see this or if anyone's watching, but... And I'm also doing an experiment. This is going to sound gross, but I thought that was a pimple, and I started trying to pop it, and I realized that it might just be a boil. So I got on YouTube, and I looked up ways to, like, help a boil. Because I think that's what it is. And they said to use onion. Now, this bitch in the video grated this onion and got the juice and mixed it with honey. It's like, I don't have time for that, and I don't have honey in my house. And fuck using a grater, because I hate them. They were actually invented by Satan. But I took an onion, and I sliced it, and I put it under Band-Aids last night. And I woke up today, and no lie, it had sucked something out of it, because the onion was dried out on the top. But when I flipped it over to where it was touching the boil, there was, like, pus-looking stuff on it. And I was like, no fucking way did that work. So, I did it again. I will say, it took some of the pain away. It took some of the swelling away. And it wasn't really swollen, but it was getting worse because I was messing with it. I put hot compresses on it last night, and I tried to pop it, and I'm gonna leave it alone because that's what this was. This big fucking scar you see. Now, what I think caused this one was I had sunburn, literally, from here all the way down over. And I know that certain products say don't use this if you have the condition or whatever it's treating on a large area of your body. But for me, that's a tricky term because I have a large body. And I used Noxzema, I tried aloe vera, I tried everything. And at one point, that whole area was covered in little tiny blisters like this. And I think what happened was all the stuff that we tried on that sunburn, which, by the way, I got told if I ever get a really bad sunburn here again, I'm probably going to have skin cancer. That's fun. I think all the stuff we tried to take the heat out of it and clean it with and all this different stuff went into my skin, and my body turned it into a boil because it was just too much for my skin to handle. Either that or one of the many blisters got infected or something. Or a mix of a blister getting infected and a hair follicle existing in the same spot, and that's how you get a boil. But boils, when people hear the word boil, they think gross. And if they see someone with a boil, they think that person's unclean. They think that person's unsanitary. I'm not even kidding. I get showers almost every day. Like, unless I want to give my hair a break. And in that case, I still kind of, like, clean myself up a little bit, obviously. And I even try to keep that routine when I'm going through a really bad bout of depression, because I know that if you're not clean with things like that can happen. So, boils can be hereditary, boils come from overproduction of oil and hair follicles being infected. They can come from literally any fucking thing, and it's like a pimple, but it's like 1,000 times worse because it hurts more. There's more risk involved because it can turn really bad really quick if you're not careful. The one thing that confused me was my brother had a boil once. I think my dad had one once, but my brother definitely had one. And someone told them to put raw bacon on it, and it worked. And I get that bacon has a lot of salt, okay? I understand that. But in the case of an open boil, wouldn't the bad things in the bacon be something that could be counterintuitive to the salt sucking any toxins or poisons out? Because here's the thing about boils. They can go from being small and insignificant, and sometimes they heal on their own, to being huge. Because a boil is essentially a cyst. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And the reason it's so hard for them to go away, I think, is because when it comes to like a cystic type thing, you almost have to cut the cyst and remove it, depending on how bad it is, or it just keeps coming back. But yeah, I'm gonna see if this onion actually heals this thing up, because I don't know what else you're supposed to do for them. I forget, what arm was it? I had one on my arm at one point. I think it was this arm. There's like a scar. Yeah, it's hard to see, but there's a scar on my arm, and I think that's the right arm. And if you press on it, it feels hollow, and I think it was either a boil or just like a cyst under my skin. And because I had this one before that, they took me right to the doctor. The doctor scalpeled it open, and that didn't hurt. I watched this man cut into my arm with a razor blade, basically, and it didn't hurt. He got all the stuff out of it. I think he put some kind of like antibiotic stuff on it, and they bandaged it up, and it healed in like a day. And I just remember being like, should that have healed that quick? And I do realize that actual like surgical scalpels reduce scar tissue by a lot. But it feels hollow as if it healed after being emptied out. Like, it's a weird feeling when I press on it. It's hard to find it anymore. Like, I forget where it is all the time. But then I'll, like, run my hand over and I'm like, oh, it still feels like that. And sometimes I think, well, if there's just, like, an empty space under my skin, couldn't it refill with whatever caused it? But if he cut the actual hair follicle right in half or whatever caused it, it may not, but I don't know. This was years ago, by the way. Like, I'm 28 now, and this happened when I was, like, 20, 21. Like, I was very young. I think it was either right after I got out of high school or right before, but I don't remember. Why are you watching this? But yeah, do you guys want me to do a skin routine? Or was this enough of talking about skin and skin problems for you? Thank you for watching. I thought about putting on makeup today, but I don't know. I'm just not awake enough for that. Have a good day.